What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? It's that time of year. The NFL playoffs are here. Wild Card weekend is in the books outside of Cowboys-Bucks tonight, but the AFC is set. We got the Chiefs and the Jaguars next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern. Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham, and Jacksonville going to travel to Arrowhead for the second time this year. I was a little drowsy last night when I did my Chiefs-Jags preview and initially said that they had not played this year. I totally forgot they did, and the Chiefs won that one 27-17, led that game 20-0. So it will be the second time these two teams have met this season, and the second time they've played at Arrowhead as well. The early odds in this one for Saturday's contest, Chiefs 9.5-point favorites. The total over-under is 52 points. So Vegas is basically saying, okay, it's going to be a 30-21, 31-22 type of game. That's basically what our friends in Vegas are saying right now. Let me say this. Do not sleep on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and there's a couple of reasons why. Number one, they're playing with house money. They rallied to make the playoffs. They're ahead of schedule in Trevor Lawrence's second season. And they rally back from 27-0 down, the third largest playoff comeback in history, to beat the Chargers. Like, they legitimately are not supposed to be here at this point. So when you face a team like that, they typically play a lot more freer and a lot more looser than a team with high expectations. So do not discount what the Jags can do in this game because they're playing with house money. The Chiefs have way more to lose as the expected team to win this game, as the team that's looking for a fifth straight AFC championship, as the team that's got the best odds to win the Super Bowl among the teams remaining in the playoffs. So do not sleep on Jacksonville because you fall asleep, you'll get beat this Saturday afternoon. Now predict the score of Chiefs versus Jaguars here on Sunday. Let me know who's going to win and what the final score is going to be. Get your score predictions going down in the comments. Now, like I said, these two teams did play earlier this year. It was pretty standard one side. Chiefs kind of did their classic, we're up 20-0, and then we'll kind of fart around to a 10-point win. But they were solid. Mahomes threw for 330 and 4 touchdowns. Pacheco had a solid game. Travis Kelce led the way receiving as well. Trevor Lawrence was good, 259 and 2 touchdowns, and he and that offense are very capable. Lawrence and the Jags can score. We saw that on Saturday. I mean, they were down 27-0 late in the first half, got that late touchdown, and ended up scoring 31 points on a Chargers defense that had been playing much better down the stretch. And by the way, they did that. They scored 31 points in a game where they had 5 turnovers. So that's pretty darn impressive. I will say this for Jacksonville. If you turn it over 5 times to the Chiefs on the road, you ain't coming back. I'll tell you that right freaking now. But again, if you're Kansas City, got to stay locked in. Doesn't matter that you're the big favorites. You got to assume you got to play your best to win this game, and if the Chiefs play a B-plus or better game, they should be just fine. Now, speaking of this matchup, we will be live on Saturday for a Chiefs-Jags watch party. Kickoff's at 4:30 Eastern, but we're going to go live for an hour pregame show. 3:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Central. We'll answer your questions. We'll get the super chats going, and we'll get you everything you need to know about this matchup as well. So go ahead and join us this Saturday. Should be a fun game for the first Chiefs playoff game of the year. All right, let's get back to the coaching carousel. Could Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy end up as the Titans' offensive coordinator? Now, a report out there that Tennessee has requested to interview both Eric Bieniemy and Matt Nagy for the vacant offensive coordinator job. Jeremy Fowler had the tweet here saying Tennessee has requested permission to interview Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy and senior assistant and quarterbacks coach Matt Nagy for their open offensive coordinator job. Now, obviously on the surface you're saying, well, why would Bieniemy do that? That's not a upward move. That's maybe not it's a backwards move, but it's a level move. You're not getting a better job title, which is why Kansas City could block the Bieniemy request if they want to. Now, if it was a head coach interview opportunity, they could not block that. But there's a chance that Bieniemy does leave, and it's not for a head coaching job. I'll explain why that's possible here in just a moment. But first, I do want to tell you guys about our awesome sponsor, Rocket Money, and they're already saving me hundreds of dollars in just the last couple of months since I got going with them in December. They can do the same for you. Cut back on your spending. RocketMoney.com/ChiefsChat. Are you wasting money on subscriptions? 80% of people have subscriptions that they have forgotten about. Maybe for you, it's an unused Amazon Prime account or a Hulu account that never gets streamed. This great app that I use, it keeps me track of all my expenses. It's called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. I no longer waste money on subscriptions that I wasn't using before. This app will show you all of your subscriptions subscriptions in one place and then cancel for you, whichever ones you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't know that you were paying for. You may even find out that you have been double charged for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money will take care of the rest. So get rid of useless subscriptions today with Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. Go to rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. It's rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. Stay on top of your finances. Cancel any subscriptions you no longer want. It's rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. Now, you know what Eric Bieniemy story is at this point. He's interviewed for a bunch of jobs, but you can't deny that he's been, I would say, overall a clear net positive for this team. I mean, look at what they did offensively this year after trading Tyreek Hill. First in points per game, first in yards per game, first in passing yards per game, second in third down conversions at just under 50%, second in red zone touchdown conversions. Like, Eric Bieniemy is a big part of this offense's success. I think there's no doubt about it. Now, here's my take. He is interviewed for half of the league's teams at this point, 16 head coach interview opportunities, hasn't gotten a head coaching job. So maybe at this point in time, Eric Bieniemy has to call plays elsewhere before getting a head coaching opportunity. Now, again, the Chiefs could block Bieniemy's interview request for an offensive coordinator position. But I think Andy Reid, if Eric Bieniemy went to him and said, hey, man, listen, I got to need to take this interview, and if they offer me the play calling gig, I may have to consider it because for whatever reason I can't get a head coaching opportunity here. Maybe I have to prove it elsewhere with less talent that I can be a high-level play caller before getting a head coach. I think Andy Reid would allow that interview to happen because he has a lot of respect for Eric Bieniemy. Now, as far as Matt Nagy goes, I think he returns next year because, one, if Bieniemy leaves, natural progression, he would become the offensive coordinator once again. And plus, number two, I just don't think he's going to jump back into being a play caller elsewhere next year. I think he'll stay with the Chiefs for at least another season. Plus, I think at the back of his mind, he's thinking, hey, if I stay here for a few years, put in my time, and Andy Reid retires, I could get a second chance as a head coach. And what better opportunity would that be than with Kansas City? I think there's some of that going on in the back of Matt Nagy's mind as well. So I think he returns next year. We'll have to wait and see, though. Now, for Eric Bieniemy, what do you guys think? Will he be back in Kansas City next season? Type Y for yes, he will return, or type N for no, he's going to move on. You kind of get the feeling that at some point he's probably going to have to move on. Maybe that time is now. Y for yes, N for no. Is he going to return next season? Now let's talk about Andy Reid and the Chiefs coming off a bye week in Reid's coaching career, both with Philadelphia and Kansas City. Andy Reid, Big Red, has an 87.1% win rate when coming off of a bye. And, of course, Chiefs are coming off a bye as they did not play during Wild Card Weekend. Those statistics, by the way, include the playoffs. Like when he has a first-round bye, he wins 87% of the time, including playoffs. And Andy Reid, offered a bit of an explanation to why his teams have had success coming off bye weeks. He says, look, we've got to make sure that we keep on top of the scheme stuff. We'll see how all of that works. But, yeah, I'll tell you that's the trick to it is keep the balance to where the players stay sharp and coaches still add a couple of things into the guys into their mix and go from there. So I think the main takeaway is look, there's always been these theories of, bye week, you lose momentum. Well, good teams use off weeks to their advantage. Teams get healthy. They add more wrinkles to play calling opportunities. It's extra time to game plan. Like this whole idea that having an extra week to prepare is some momentum killer. Like, sure, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but you can't think of things like that. Like the off week should be a positive, not a negative. And I think that's how Andy Reid has approached it, and that's why he's had a lot of success. Because I think you give a high-level X's and O's coach like Andy Reid an extra week to prepare, that's trouble for opposing teams. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Doug Peterson knows Andy Reid very well. Jacksonville does have some momentum, so we'll see how that plays into the fold. But if the Chiefs play well and start fast, I don't think the Jags are going to be able to win this game. Now, how confident are you for Saturday's game against Jacksonville? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being not at all, you think they're going to lose. 10 being very confident, no doubt in your mind that they're going to win. I'm like an 8.8. I'm very confident. Nothing's guaranteed. Jags are not a team to sleep on, like I mentioned earlier, but I will go 8.8. What say you? Let me know down in the comments. All right, and be sure to subscribe because we'll have videos every single day leading up to Saturday's game. Again, we'll be live 2:30 Central Time on Saturday with an hour pregame show with kickoff at 3:30 Central, so be sure to join us for that and check out all of our videos throughout the week.